Here's the deal. So it's so funny. Y'all are really loud, and I love this because occasionally I'll go on social media and they'll say, "You're so loud," and I'm like, "Hello, Tamron." I'm just loud because my people are loud. Welcome to the show. Have a seat. So this show is a big one today. Well, listen, but before we get started, I do want to say March was Women's History Month. Number of amazing events this month. I was so lucky to be running all around celebrating with great women. Special shout out to my friend Bevy Smith. She hosted a dinner with BET Plus celebrating women who made history. My friend ABC News' Lindsay Davis was there. Kim Page, the head of BET. It was so fun and so good to commune with women who are remixing lives and changing the world. Which brings me to the show today, because we have two superstars on the show today who have built huge fan bases for doing what they love, but they refuse to stay in one lane. From a musician who's a philanthropist to an actress who's an acclaimed novelist, they're not afraid to mix it up a little bit. So here's the deal. I don't even have to say our first guest's name. You might know him just by hearing this.
Someone please call 911.
Wyclef Jean is here. Over the decades of his long career, the rapper, musician, and record producer has earned 3 Grammys, 1 for his work with Santana's album Supernatural, 2 for his iconic group, you might know them, the Fugees, alongside Lauryn Hill and Ross. Their second album, The Score, was released in 1996, became one of the best-selling albums of all time, selling over 22 million copies worldwide. Rolling Stone calls it one of the greatest albums of all time, which features chart toppers like Ready or Not. And of course, the remake of Roberta Flack's hit Killing Me Softly with his song. This man is an icon. So let's bring him out. 3-time Grammy-winning hip-hop superstar, music legend, Wyclef Jean!
Naboule. Love you too. Love you too.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you kidding? First of all, you look incredible walking out here.
Thank you.
It is remarkable how, obviously, your music tells us a story, but the Fugees alone, y'all's fashion always told a story individually. What story are you telling today?
Well, today, just the Caribbean island man vibe, you know? This is what we look like, you know?
It's amazing. When you hear greatest album of all time, does it feel like yesterday or does it feel like forever ago?
You know, I would just say, like, when we was coming out, the whole idea was to create a movement, because the movement becomes bigger than the music.
Yeah.
Because it don't matter what year we in, you know.
How did you define it? Because you were a baby. I mean, you grew up in the church. I think you said you and your siblings were the Jackson 5 of the church.
Yeah, we were. You know, we was like, and you know, our last name is Jean, so in America it was the Jean family. You know what I mean? So literally grew up in a Nazarene gospel church, and that's really where it all came from. That was the start of it all.
But when you said you wanted to create a movement, mission accomplished, but how did you define that movement in your head?
Well, you know, coming from a small island of Haiti, my whole idea was how to put my country on the map, how to let people know that Haiti was fly. Coming to America, what we wanted to do was show that unification of all of us as one. So the idea was like, when you put all of us together, you get the Fugees, you get the refugees, you get the immigrant, you get just that roco pollo, you know what I'm saying? You get that completeness.
All complete. And so when you now look at, you and Lauren were together at Roberta Flack's memorial. And I think that was the first time that you'd perform. Well, you performed at SNL 50 together right before, but you were at this memorial, this song that means so much to us, but means so much to you. Yeah. Take me to that moment.
Well, I mean, the first part of it is, you know, we had a big tour last year, which was pretty amazing. The moment, you know, I got the text from Miss Hill and I just saw the picture of Roberta, just memories started coming in on how we just, you know, in awe and meeting her for me. Going to the repast, the celebration, which Al Sharpton would call it, just sitting there, it was just like, it shows you like the moment that you live, the most important thing is you have to stand for something. Yeah. So looking at everybody that was there, it just shows you how great of a person that this human was. You know, and one thing Al Sharpton said that stuck to my head was when he was like, you know, this woman was here when people were sitting in the back of the bus, right? And what she decided to sing, what she decided to stand up for was the reason that we all was there.
It's so beautiful. We have a little bit of the performance. Let's play it.
Oh, struggling my pain. Oh, we hit this finger. One time singing my life with his word.
Do you ever ask yourself why that song?
Well, the thing is, I would say that, you know, when we was doing the score and Miss Hill, who
do you call her Miss Hill?
Yeah, of course.
Always?
No, I always call her Miss Hill the same way if I say call me Wyclef Jean. It's very important that we respect someone per what they want to be called.
Yeah.
Now, when we on stage and we just rhyming, that's El Boogie, you know what I'm saying? We having fun, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just remember that studio process. So for me, as a producer, I always say that that was one of the greatest moments of my life because Lauren did not want to stop recording vocals. You see, I just called her Lauren, right? Because she was in the studio as Lauren at the time. She did not want to, she was so upset. She was like, I got to keep doing these vocals. I got to keep. And when you hear Killing Me Softly, the most amazing part to me is the simple drum beat, the bass line, and it was all about the energy of the vocals. So, and again, I would say that, you know, for me, I was real obsessed with Bob Marley. I wanted to do No Woman, No Cry, and her record was this Killing Me Softly record.
Are you happy she won?
Of course, amazing, amazing, you know what I mean? You know, so for me, it's amazing because I'm looking at, you know, again, I pinch myself.
Yeah.
You know, I pinch myself, I look back at that little basement in Newark, New Jersey, East Orange, New Jerusalem, and from where we came from to today, like every part of the world, it's not a
You can't
country.
play that song in the world. It's
it's not a place that don't know that song.
Where's the strangest place you've been and you've heard the song and you're like, wait.
Like, I would maybe say Moscow.
Moscow?
Yeah. I was in Russia, And then dude came up to me, he ain't even call me Wyclef. He was like, one time, two times.
Did he say it in English?
Nah, in English, of course. Like, one time, two times.
I love how you seem so present in life. You were at the SNL 50 with Miss Hill performing, and you said that it was Cher was there, Snoop was there, all of these performers, and you said you felt like you were in Disneyland?
Yeah, I felt like, again, I pinch myself because as a person who creates music, I'm just a fan of everyone, you know what I mean? So SNL, I'm seeing everybody. Adam Sandler comes up and goes, hey, Wyclef, you just killed it, you know? And I'm like, yo, this
you do great impersonations. I never knew this.
I'm like, yo, this is Adam Sandler. But it definitely was surreal. You could feel the love in the room, the energy in the room.
Did you see Adele went viral? She posted her video of her watching you and Lauren perform. Take a look at what Adele put up. So you got Adele in her home with somebody recording her being a fan of yours.
I mean, again, we pinch myself. I'm a big fan of Adele. We all are big fans of Adele. So thank you, Adele. But, you know, that's another big one.
That's another big one for you.
Definitely.
The big question, of course, is will the tour, the much anticipated tour, happen? I know that there's been conversations and there have been bumps, as any people have in their lives when you've known each other since you were in a basement as kids. Where does it stand with a full tour, the three of you together?
Yeah, I would say that what I would tell everyone is just to keep your hearts open for what God is about to offer.
Why do you say that?
Because at the end of the day, I think change is important, evolution is important, and sometimes we get stuck in a moment in a time and we want to see it. I just feel like now, conversation-wise, vibing with Miss Hill, the energy that we have, I just feel like it's a new space. And what is this new space gonna produce? I don't know, but I just say leave it in God's hands.
More with Wyclef Jean after the break.
Coming up, Wyclef looks back at his childhood, how music changed his life, and what he's doing now to pay it forward. And later, Wyclef performs his Billboard Hot 100 Grammy-nominated mega hit 911 for the Tam Fam.
For me tonight, girl, I want you to